cells, so your white blood cells are going to be higher. The average person is dealing with an immune issue, immune crisis every single day. By the way, I'm back live on YouTube. I went ahead and just reinitiated. I mean, I didn't reinitiate it. I started a new stream. Appears to be okay for the time being. I'm by myself over there, so I'm with you guys here on Instagram, but it is live now. I'm just not sure what's going on here today. One person joined. Hello there. I'm not seeing a chat window. I don't know if it's because there's been no chat yet. There's only one person here. Feel free to say hello if you'd like. We're talking about blood tests right now. So in a healthy, clean, well-functioning body that's not challenged, I see that. Hello there. Good to see you. Mahai. Nihai. Good to see you. So in a well-functioning body, white blood cells will be lower than the average person. Okay, they're going to be lower. They shouldn't be higher. The fact that it says they're below the normal range. The normal range is what? Normal means average. Below the average person's white blood cells, because we're not poisoning ourselves multiple times per day the way the average person is. Okay? Hello there. Can you please tell me what you think about colonics? Yes, colonics are terrible and should be avoided whenever possible. Okay, colonics flush out beneficial bacteria, alter the pH of the colon, weaken the muscle of the bowel. These are to be avoided whenever possible. Hello there, Jared. Good to see you. So I would never personally use a colonic. Even enemas are harmful, although less so. And research shows that you have poorer bowel function afterward. Okay, fast long enough and properly, and there's no need for colonics or enemas. My clients eliminate pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds of old hard material. I had a client recently who, in the 2 months after fasting 16 days, eliminated 400 times, an average of 7 times per day. No enemas, no colonics necessary. And this is a guy, by the way, who'd been severely constipated and who couldn't gain weight as a result of it because he wasn't assimilating anything. There was so much stuff in there for years. And we corrected that problem. By the end of the process, he gained 20 pounds in 2 months after literally not being, losing weight for 3 months when he didn't want to. This is a man who was 101 pounds, 6 feet tall when he started his fast. Okay, Randy says, do you ever eat jalapenos? Are they no good? Well, the molecule that makes spicy foods like jalapenos, taste hot and spicy to us, capsaicin, burns our tissue. And so your body produces mucus to protect itself. I typically avoid eating things that burn my tissue. Every once in a while, I might use a tiny amount. I mean, we actually did something not that long ago. I did a dish and I took, I think, one tiny little hot pepper, a wild hot pepper here, and put it in the sauce, and it was super hot. It was way too much for most people. We had to try to add things to make it milder. All right. So again, we're talking blood tests. White blood cells we expect to be low. What else we expect to be low? A raw vegan is going to have. Sound is better now. Good. Okay. Good. Thank you, Ian. I appreciate that. A raw vegan, someone who's living on fruits and simple salads, is going to have relatively little protein in the blood. They're going to have low protein breakdown products. We're going to see bun, urea, nitrogen levels are going to be low. That's normal. That's going to be true for a vegan. That's not a problem, right? So she'd had, this client of mine, some of these numbers had several things flagged. The electrolytes were below the normal range, but probably okay. She could boost them a little bit, those two, sodium and chloride. White blood cells were low. That's not a problem. The urea and bun were low. That's normal. We expect that. The one thing that was low that should have been were red blood cells. Red blood cells were low. Iron was a bit on the low side. Hemoglobin, hematocrit were low. And what this probably is happening it's probably because of low B12. And that happens because of, Randy, you're very welcome. That happens because of dehydration. Okay, dehydration. If ebb and flow, you're very welcome. If you are dehydrated, you're going to have a hard time being able to assimilate the B12 being manufactured in your gut by your own gut biome, which is making B12 all the time. You're going to have a hard time assimilating it because it shows up attached to protein. And if you're dehydrated, your hydrochloric acid in the stomach, which breaks the protein down, is likely very low. And so we're going to have a hard time cleaving the B12 from the protein. This is, I think, what's probably going on in her case. I encourage her to get an MMA test. This is a methylmalonic acid test. It's a urine test. The rest of her urine was fine, but they didn't test for that. And if you check the urine for an MMA, it runs opposite. So if the MMA is high, it means her B12 is low. Okay, and my guess is that's probably what's going on. Can yellow tongue be a sign of diseases? Thank you. Yeah, I suppose it could be. I think it's primarily a sign that there's a bunch of garbage in the small intestine that you're reabsorbing. Okay, and this happens when you fast. Sometimes when you're not fasting, it could be a sign of candida issues, etc. But I think this is, anyway, I think this is most of the blood test information I wanted to share. It's just good to remember that normal levels are based on average people. Normal just means average. And so normal level for any of these things is based on where most people are. Okay, where most people are. We don't need to be where most people are. We can be much healthier than that. And in many cases, it means that our numbers are going to be outside of that normal range. That's fine. That's not a problem. Okay, that's nothing for us to worry about. Okay. All right, I'm going to see what else we have over here on Instagram. Let me see here. How does your protocol differ from True North? In practically every way. My protocol, the question is, how does my fasting protocol differ from what they do at True North? What we do here is based on attempting to imitate what happens in nature, okay? In nature, as closely as possible. And there, of course, there's some exception. The real exception, the difference between what we do and in terms of what's not, just realized there's muddle over the floor because I was just out of the construction site before coming in. I didn't realize. I thought I'd clean my shoes off, but apparently I've got some deep treads on these shoes, and apparently there's some dirt stuck in there. Okay, so first of all, in nature, animals rest, fasting, rest as completely as possible. That's absolutely critical to your success, that you rest as completely as possible. At True North, there are classes, lectures, food demos all day long. There are flat screen televisions on the wall in every guest room, and there's Wi-Fi throughout the building. Okay, which, I mean, obviously those latter two things, flat screen television exposure, Wi-Fi, are harmful to us. Wi-Fi considerably harmful. And so we have no Wi-Fi here. There are no televisions available to our guests. On Wednesday nights, we roll a big flat screen out and we show a movie. But that's it. That's all. I mean, you can sit in your room and watch movies on laptop all day if you want to. We encourage people not to do that because it's a waste of energy. And if your eyes are open, you're taking all this visual information in, you are not coming close to getting the benefits that you could be getting. Okay? And so there's a huge difference. My clients are in nature. I mean, we're in the tropics. Today it's a little bit cool and people have on long sleeve shirts. We have rooms, most of our rooms have windows you can close. We actually have 8 rooms that don't have any glass. They're just screens. It's not a problem. I mean, a couple days a year, you need to put a little bit more clothing on to stay warm enough. My window's wide open right here behind the screens, to the right here. There's a wide open window. That's all the time pretty much. I mean, I guess I could close it, would be maybe a little bit warmer, but we don't really need to because it's not really cold. It's just a little chilly with the breeze and no sun and temperatures lower than normal. Temperatures today is probably 72 degrees. Average temperature this time of day would probably be 82 to 84 degrees, something like that. But having clean, fresh air. I mean, there you're breathing recycled air you're on a busy city corner. So you don't have open windows. And even if you do, there's no fresh air out there. You're not in a city. There's no trees. There's no, here we're on 37 acres of tropical paradise. We've got acres of forest. We're creating forest where there was pasture. We've planted well over 1,000 fruit trees now, where there used to be forest. And as those trees get bigger and bigger, they too are producing more oxygen. So, grass doesn't do very much. We don't have much grass here. Most of the grass that was here, we've taken out. Those are big differences. True North tells people not to drink more than 2 liters a day. You cannot rehydrate the old material in your body. In fact, your body, it's estimated, needs 3 liters a day just for normal functioning. And they're telling people not to drink more than 2. I don't understand what they're doing. Now, of course, they have people drinking distilled water. I guess if you're drinking distilled water, I'm going to try to clean up some of this dirt while I'm speaking. If you're drinking distilled water, you probably want to drink no more than necessary because it's harmful and toxic. So, that may be part of what's going on. But, my clients on average are drinking 6+ liters per day. Not at the beginning. The beginning it's usually around 4, but usually people need to get up to that amount. And the only way to actually know what someone needs is to properly interpret daily vital signs, something they don't know how to do at True North. Okay, this isn't something they teach in chiropractic school or medical school. The owner's a chiropractor, or medical school. It's something I worked out on my own. I have a doctor fasting with me right now who says, "Oh, that's interesting. That makes sense." Not something we learned. I mean, he can see the relationship holds true. Okay, what I'm saying, actually, we can demonstrate that it's working, that it actually is true, but it's not something these people have ever learned before. So they wouldn't know how to tell us something. They also don't measure hydration levels the way we do here. So they're also not looking at that and have no idea how well hydrated or dehydrated people actually are. We know because we measure it a couple of different ways. Okay, we measure hydration, and then we also look at the vital signs I'm talking about, which allow us to get a look at what blood volume is. And blood volume is not hydration, but it's closely related to hydration. Okay? All right, I have a super chat here from Citrus Simon, who made a $5 contribution and says, "Can you debunk the carnivore diet? I keep getting carnivores visiting my channel and telling me that they're healing their issues and thriving." They are liars. They're not really necessarily lying, Citrus. These are just people who couldn't think their way out of a paper bag, to be honest with you. I mean, let's start with the simplest possible thing. Every organism has a digestive tract specifically adapted, evolved for a particular diet. Our digestive tracts are virtually identical to the digestive tracts of our closest primate relatives, who are frugivores, the bonobos and the chimpanzees. Not so different from others like the gorillas, but gorillas are foliivores, not frugivores, and so there are some slight differences. The digestive tract of a carnivore is completely different from our digestive tract, and not just the digestive tract. There are many physiological differences. Okay, the most effective way to cool the body down is by sweating, but dogs and cats don't sweat, they pant, which is a far less efficient way. Why would they cool the body down in a less efficient way? Because meat eaters don't want to telegraph to their prey by their body scent, their enhanced body scent where they are, which is what would happen if they were sweating. So they don't sweat, they pant. It's not very efficient. Their jaws go up and down only because they rip the flesh off the bone and swallow it whole. We chew ours up. Okay, I mean, there's no question about the fact that we're not meant to eat that diet. Okay, look at the digestive tract. In terms of the colon, the intestines. A couple, 2-3 years ago, some troll commented on one of my videos that I didn't look good for my age, something that everyone who meets me in person says is not the case. I don't know what you think. It's okay, whatever you think. It's your opinion. I'm okay with that. I feel amazing and couldn't give a shit what people think, honestly. But he said, "This woman looks much better than you." Now she was 10 years younger than me, but he said, "Looks much better than you do." And he gave me a link. And so I went and clicked on this link. And there's this Filipino woman who's living on a carnivore diet and talking about how good she feels and how well she functions. And then she says, "I only eliminate roughly once every 10 days, but that's because my body is so efficient." If you've ever had a dog, you know, you feed your dog You take it for a walk an hour later, and there goes its dinner. Okay, very short, smooth, straight digestive tract. Why? Because animal products have eating a protein-heavy diet creates lots of toxic byproducts, and so carnivores eliminate their waste as quickly as possible. It doesn't linger in the body for a long time. Whereas you and I, we eat a meal, and in a well-functioning system, I'm stomping my feet. I still have some dirt in my shoes. I apologize. Easily distracted. In a well-functioning system, it takes 8 to 12 hours to eliminate the waste. For carnivore, we're looking at 2-3 hours maximum. That's because it's very toxic. This woman says, because I'm absorbing everything, I don't have much to eliminate. I only eliminate once every 10 days. If an obligate carnivore eliminates after every meal, shouldn't we be doing that if we're carnivores? I mean, does this make any sense? What this woman is doing, I mean, this is like complete idiocy. And what this woman is doing is creating lower bowel disease. She will probably die of colon cancer. I hope she doesn't. I'm not wishing this on anyone. Don't get me wrong. I'm not one of these angry vegans. First of all, I mean, I don't believe we have the right to harm, enslave, or kill other species, and so I won't do it. I don't use animal products. So I don't own leather. I do still have some old wool and silk sport coats, which I wear, maybe once every 5 years. I'll probably have to throw them away because the moss will get to them. But I don't buy any of those materials. I wear cotton, hemp, linen, plant-based fabrics only. Today you can get banana fiber and other things like that. But I don't believe we have the right to use it. I would never eat it. But I don't wish these people ill at all. But that's what's going to happen. You can't put garbage in your system and have have it be in there for 10 days without creating problems. And that's what she's doing. This woman, by the way, ate a big slab of meat. This was going to be her meal, and then a stick of butter for dessert. Okay. And she eliminates once every 10 days. Good luck with that. Okay. Now, science is really clear. In 2013, there was a study published which laid to rest any questions about this. It's very, very clear that when we exceed our body's tiny, tiny needs for protein, excess protein beyond that means we age and die faster. We age and die faster as we eat more protein. That's what happens. That's what happens. By the way, you guys liking this? Because if you're liking this, how about a thumbs up? What do you think? Give it a like on Instagram. Give it a thumbs up on YouTube. I see one person has liked me so far here on YouTube. You're going to make me feel bad. That's 2. Thank you so much. It's 100% improvement already. 300% improvement. 200, yeah, whatever it is. Anyway, 200% improvement. So, yeah, there's no question. I mean, we need tiny amounts of protein. If you're living on a carnivore diet, you are creating higher rates of all disease, higher rates of death from all disease, and faster aging and death. So why do people keep saying they feel better? And this isn't the only person who says this. Other people say the same thing. Why does that happen? What's going on here? Okay. How is it that all these people are deluded? Well, it's really, really simple. Most people don't have the slightest idea what actual health looks like. So many of these people eating a carnivore-based diet have these deep, dark circles under their eyes. You're not going to see them on a vegan. Okay, you're going to see them on a carnivore. You're going to probably start to see wrinkles as they age faster as well. Again, 60 years old, very few wrinkles on my face. It's really simple. They're suppressing symptoms, and that's all most people understand. Okay, I feel good, I don't feel good. Okay, that's all people understand. The problem is that is not, oh shit, I'm late for a call. I gotta go. Folks, I just realized how late it was. I'm so sorry. I've got a call that started without me 10 minutes ago. I've got to get on it. I'll see you guys next time. I hope I hope this helps you with your question. I'm sorry I missed the rest of your questions. It happens. We run out of time. Citrus made another 5-pound contribution. Says you look very healthy for your age. Is this due to your hydration levels? Yeah, it's primarily about hydration, but it's also slower aging, which happens by eating properly, low protein and low caloric intake. Okay, we just age more slowly. And so in every measure, I measure like a 30-something-year-old. Okay, obviously not gray, but other than that, I mean, even the gray hair. I mean, My whole family started going gray at 14. Folks, got to go. Hope you've had a good time here today. Again, if you've enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share it, like it on Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.